We are here. We took a break. We are back.
Yo.
Mel is here today. Thank you.
I got my NYPD blues on.
It's official.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, that is cool. So you're up to date on Moon Knight?
I am, sir. I am. Look, I love Egyptian history. I'm all over Moon Knight now. I'm all Moon Knight. I love it.
Nice. Yeah, I think we're going to talk about episode 3. Kind of slow, but episode 4 really brought it home, I think, with the tomb. I mean, as Larry said it, like it's like Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's like Indiana Jones going on here. Mm-hmm. How you doing, Larry?
Man, I'm great. Not ready for the week to start, but
nope.
We get to do the show and send Sunday out with a bang.
That's it.
All right.
Larry, you got a lot of space behind you, Larry. A lot of space.
I know, man. It's tidied. It's almost everything's where it belongs. I do have a big, huge that bin right there. This big bin right here. Mm-hmm. That's all needs to be cleaned and sorted still. But and then there's several bins below that too. So always forever sorting.
I need you to come to Maryland, man. I got a whole lot of sorting to do, man. I got a whole room. I've been sorting for 3 years, man. 3 years I've been sorting.
Oh yeah. Yeah, never ends.
In order, man. Gotta get your own personal brick pit in order, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
What's up? Zizou's here in the chat. He's up to date.
Nice.
Let's jump right in because I think we could cruise right through episode 3. You guys ready?
Ready.
Let's do it.
All right. So I'll throw some scenes out and we'll cover scene by scene and throw some questions, or if you have any comments, jump right in. Layla is in a scene. This is the friendly type. I don't know what that means, but
yeah.
She's got a passport lady. She's putting a passport forgery together.
Nice.
Definitely a friendly character. Is this, I mean, she gives her a kiss kind of, on the cheek at the end. Is this a motherly figure? Or?
I think she's family at the very least.
Yeah. Family friend, maybe something like that.
Yeah. That was like, she was like helping the process too. Like she picked out the cover and turned the light on and it was like very familiar for her.
Yeah, not their first rodeo on that.
Right. So Layla is quite the adventurer. After that, we see a scene with Harrow, and he uses the scarab to locate this Ahmed tomb. He's got his cult crew following right along to dig it up. So they're there. We're so close to seeing some epic, release.
Yeah.
And we'll get into episode 4 later, but like even then, it doesn't quite. We don't have like a big genie out of the bottle moment. So I don't know. We'll go through this dialogue. Mark is fighting some Egyptian thugs. Remember this part? So they just kind of jump around. They got this knife fight.
Oh, that was epic. I love it.
Yeah.
Except for nobody got like stabbed until later.
Yeah.
I like the part where he said, "Are we gonna fight or are we gonna dance?" They're doing all kind of flashy stuff with the knife. Yeah. They park it. It's called parkour. Yeah. I like that. All the part up where he licks the knife and get punched in the face. Too flashy. When you lick the knife and get punched in the face, you're doing too much.
So he sees his reflection in the knife, and then classic Mark. You think Steven takes over, but we don't see what happens next.
Yeah.
And they jump to him waking up in a cab. And he chases the same thugs. And then he passes out again and wakes up stabbing one of those guys.
Yeah.
So who do you think did it? Who do you think did it?
Who did it, Larry?
Who did it? Who did it, Larry?
It has
Who
to be
did
Jake. It has to be Jake.
Jake. Who's Jake?
Jake is the third personality.
So
it's got to be Jake. I thought we were going to see him in this episode.
Yeah.
And then we didn't. And
well,
then we
right,
went through episode 4, and we still didn't see him.
We saw a round Jake Lockney character, if that's who it is, because we see him waking up in the aftermath of, it wasn't Steven killing these guys, obviously.
Right. And Mark said, it wasn't me.
And it wasn't Mark. He was not lying. He's definitely has multiple identities.
Okay.
And maybe we'll mix some of these episodes together. But in when they show that other sarcophagus shaking, there's a character in there.
Oh, so you're jumping way ahead.
Well,
yes, I was going to say I didn't want to talk about that now because it's going to be in episode 4. But yeah, that's got to be Jake.
That's got to be
Jake. And yeah, that's got to be Jake.
And the way it was like red, you know, and then like it was standing up versus the other one laying down.
Yeah. Now, what is the significance of that? Is because you'll see some Egyptian, tombs or like graves like that. Some will be laying down, which is pretty common, but then some stay straight up. Like
that. I don't know, man. That's
I think
great question. I don't know. I wonder if it has some significance, or was it just to put him in a more larger than life angle to really get the shaking, because I think it's a little tough to do if it's laying down. You might get the top shaking a little bit, but I think even the music changed a little bit to make it a little bit more foreboding that there's something maybe not so good in that other sarcophagus. But
there's something there, and they gave Steven a different job. He was in the comics. So we're gonna do comic versus Disney show. So comics, we have Steven more as a playboy millionaire. It's more of a Bruce Wayne. He's kind of So Mark, I think they're doing straight up. He's the mercenary,
right?
He's the Indiana Jones guy running around, or maybe even worse than Indy. But and then we got this other character, Jake Lockney from the comics. We know is coming. It's got to come. But in the comics, he's a cab driver, so he does some different types of like private investigation, like
his character is like that. He's a not really a detective, but he's a guy that is gathering information from all these informants for whatever the plot of the story is going to be. But that's kind of his role.
I like to think from the comics anyway, he's this cab driver, but he just goes on a stakeout. Anyway, we'll see. I wanted to tie that. I used to try not to jump around, but Jake, I think, is this big question on our brains from those two angles in those two parts of the episode. And other than that, we got a lot of Kanju to cover now.
Yeah. We learned a lot. I like it because we learned a lot more about Kanju than we did before. He was mystery for a bit, but now he's pretty messy. Like, how you a guy, but you're pretty messy. Like the other guys don't want to deal with you.
He knows it too. He's like, well, if we could do this, and it's gonna cause some attention, and I might go get imprisoned.
But hey, it's worth a shot.
And he goes for it. Yeah. So the first thing he does is he pulls off a lunar eclipse of the sun.
Yeah.
And it's just like catching everybody off guard. Like, whoa. So that caught the Egyptian gods' attention, and basically portals appeared for the avatars to come. Basically explain themselves or see what's going on.
Right.
Yeah.
So Mark goes through this portal that opens up. It's very physical, but Or Steven was kind of there too. They're always talking to each other, so sometimes I forget, like, oh, this is cool, and then
he finds reflective surfaces in all the strangest places, man.
Right. So I don't know. Is this overvoid what they call this cosmic pyramid? Because they don't go to just the normal Giza pyramid. They're like in some like Asgardian Egyptian god temple.
Yeah.
But the avatars come to meet and the gods talk through their avatars. So we meet a female, Yatzil. She's the avatar of Hathor, the goddess of music and love, and it seems like they know each other. But I mean, we're going back, thousands of years into Egyptian history and avatars and all this Enid stuff. So we have in attendance Horus, Isis, Neftut, or Osiris, Hathor, and they're here to hear Kanju. Why basically summoned them to by the eclipse, and he says, "I want to call judgment for Arthur Harrow."
He sounded a little bit like Christopher Lloyd, like when projecting his voice through I guess it's not Stephen, but Mark projecting his his voice through Mark. He sounded a lot like Christopher Lloyd a little bit. And it's like why does he sound like that?
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, he's like talking very like loud and just like kind of out of control. That's I like that. So he releases his voice. Kanju's voice is kind of Christopher Lloyd is. And then they bring Arthur Harrow to the table. They say, well, let's bring him in. I thought it was really like kind of I don't want to say divisive, but they're just like, well, all right, we believe you. Let's get on with it. They bring Arthur Harrow in, and he's ready to be very silver-tongued about it. He's being judged, but he puts all the judging and blame back onto Mark and how he is unwell.
Right, and I thought that was a little bit too easy for him to go, yeah, it wasn't me, blame him. And they're like, oh, okay. And they don't even they're not even listening to the idea. They don't even want to hear any evidence about Harrow at all.
Here's what I took from that though. Like, I feel like one of those gods are like in cahoots with Arthur, like Hathor. What's my man's name? The one that's doing all the stuff. Harold. I can't even think of his name. I feel like one of them are in cahoots with Harold for something, and he just not telling. That's why it was too easy just to undermine Khonshu. You know what I'm saying? I feel like one of them are in cahoots with him. Like they're just not saying something.
Yeah. Later in the episode, it seems like Arthur Harrow and one of those guys are talking, and he's showing them around, like.
Yeah. Because honestly, like, isn't he like he's still immortal though, right? Even though he's not Khonshu's avatar anymore, he's immortal, right? Right, Larry? I mean,
he's mortal. I just think that he was very familiar with the room and the people there, the gods, the avatars, because he's been there before. Because we have to assume that since he was, and to answer Ziz's question, since he was Khonshu's avatar in the past, he's walking in like, I've been here, done this. And so he knew how to handle it too. He knew how, what to say to the other gods, the other avatars, to get them to, change their tack over to, Mark and Stephen.
Well, he succeeds because
really easily.
I mean, it's crazy how it was redirected, but They basically just let them both go. The other Avatar tells Mark there's another way to find Edmund and try to beat Harrow too. It's so weird. and the gives the name Senfu, and so he's got to find Senfu's sarcophagus, and he's back on Earth, and he's asking the beet juice guy. It's kind of a funny moment where this guy's just about to pour him some juice.
Yeah.
And then he says, "Hey, I'm looking for so and so."
Right. You lean in, but hey, yeah.
He must know who to find because I mean, just like some random guy in a bazaar.
Right. Yeah. And he ran away from him real quick, like you know you're in trouble when that happens.
And I guess it's because he's not, Egyptian. Because Layla's there, and he's like, she said something like, "Right person, wrong, right guy, wrong time," or I don't know. So she knows where to go next. They get on a boat and they go to this guy, Mogart. Mogart is he supposed to be the guy from the comics, Larry? Because the actor dies during the filming, or
like right after filming, the actor had passed away.
Oh wow!
Yeah. His name's he's a character, a bad guy, something Midnight.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember, but there's little clues to that because the clock behind his little horse arena was right at midnight. Just as an extra Easter egg to confirm that that's who that guy was.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know if we're going to see him again, but who knows?
So yeah, I think they're unfortunate incident to get in, just to kind of unravel, like things like when Carrie Fisher passed away, and they could have done maybe more in Star Wars.
Yeah.
But this guy filmed his episode, but he dies in the episode, so I don't know. But yeah, he could have been this more. He could have came back as Dr. Midnight or Mr. Midnight or whoever, kind of like opposing, the Moon Knight character anyway.
Right.
Well, and we don't know for sure that he died. He does get a spear in the back as he goes into the mist. But if he's got any kind of superpower, maybe he survives this. We don't know, but if we never see him again, it's explained. If we see him again, they could also be explained. So
you might have to recast him, but unfortunately, in memory of Gaspard Urelli or something, he had a skiing accident, and wear a helmet, folks. I don't know what happened exactly, but
yeah, that's unfortunate.
Wear a helmet. All right, so there's a mention of Madripoor when Layla's talking to the guard she knows. And this brings us back to the MCU a little bit. Really, very few references to Avenger type of happenings until, well, we saw Sharon Carter play the power broker in Winter Soldier and the Falcon, and that was in Madripoor. So if this guy, Mogart, is, or the guard anyway, I don't know, has met Layla in Madripoor, what do you think? Do you think it's possible that we could see the power broker later, or maybe Moon Knight could cross paths with something like that? I don't know. Maybe that would probably have to be another season, I guess.
Well, when we saw her, she was also in this, this arts and antiquities black market thing that this guy's into. So this place was almost identical to the locale in Madripoor. And so I'm thinking, there's definitely, I mean, I think it's a safe guess to say that he definitely knows the power broker. I mean, if they're in that line of work and they're the wealthy that are doing these in these dealings, we may very well see it. Is it going to be in Moon Knight? That's a good question, because we all of a sudden we took a hard left turn in this show, and we don't know what.
Let's wait.
Where we're going next. So
let's wait on that one. Okay, black market connections.
Legal stuff.
It could also tie to the swordsman with Hawkeye. I'm stretching here, but just trying to bring more of the MC in to this Moon Knight saga. So we're very, very secluded in this episode to this Egyptian area, but it's very good. There's some text and some mummy, and Mark and Steven are kind of talking it through together on trying to find this star map. They fold some paper or whatever they call it, cartonage, and
it's got to be a pretty big deal, because the Medjai, and that's what it was, the sarcophagus of a Medjai. Like a Medjai was like a pretty big deal in Egyptian world. Like you were like basically you were like the sheriff, and you guard, like you just whatever section of that the pharaoh sent you out to guard. That's that's basically what the Medjai was, and so like if you got a sarcophagus that's a Medjai, like it's pretty big deal.
Yeah. And he had it on full display with like a pyramid thing and lights, and so it looked like a big deal. Yeah, this Medjai Senfu has some star map, which will lead them another way to find Ahmed. Ironically, after they're at gunpoint, Arthur Harrow comes in again as a third party, and he's got the scarab, and he's like, how about we trade this, for this? Because he's already used the scarab, so he doesn't really need it.
No, he don't need it. He knows exactly where
So that was kind of slick for him to be like, how about you take this, And he shows off a bit. He uses his magic cane to just, I don't know, burn up the Magi. I don't know why. Just to get rid of that other alternate map, I think. And and that's when Moon Knight appears, and we start to get some action.
It always bothers me when they ruin, ancient relics in movies. I always
cringe a little bit. Like
I do cringe.
Trying to find if we're going through faster. Ooh, here's the other void. All right, so they're fighting Arthur Harrow, Magic Cane.
Yep, fighting.
Folded map.
After the fight, they that's when they spin back time, right, to line the stars.
Well, let's talk a little bit more because Layla uses her necklace as a weapon.
Oh yeah, to shank her, the guy she knew, the guard guy that she had already known. Oh yeah, well he shot at her first, and he gets what he deserves. But yeah, she double shivved him.
Yeah, that was cool. I'm really liking Layla. She's alone. She's not a sidekick. She can take care of herself. But Moon Knight helps. He fights off a bunch of these guards, and then Steven's like, no, So it's interesting. Like when Mark is Moon Knight, Steven can be like, take control, and then he becomes this Mr. Knight character, with the tie on. And trying not to kill these guys.
Yeah, he's the friendly type.
Maybe that. Yeah, he's the friendly
cop. He's the friendly cop. The bad cop and the good cop. He gets stabbed a couple times though, and then he's like, "All right, you can have him back. You can have him back."
Dude, when he gets impaled and then grabs that guy and impales that guy on the spear that was impaling him, I'm like, dang. That's ruthless.
So that part, we got some good action there. Kanju's just standing by, tick tock, let's get on with it. And that was like Larry said, in reference to midnight, so getting to the midnight hour in this midnight character. So maybe we'll see him again. So like Iceberg was saying, they drive out to this desert. They let Steven fix the map, and he reads the star map to a sky that's 2,000 years ago. So Kanju has to turn back the night sky, and he does it with help of his avatar.
Crazy.
And I mean, Larry's all on this.
Looks like a DJ spinning the record.
Dude, I could talk about this for an hour, because it's just I like astronomy. I mean, I'm a big fan of it. I could have been an astrophysicist in another lifetime. Nice. But to me, it's like they must explain this as just being a bit of an illusion, because to have the power to turn back the night sky, I mean, you are literally reversing the solar system and moving it back, through empty space of the Milky Way to get to what he did. And I'm like, yeah. So to me, it must have been magic. I mean, it's just magic. I mean, even moving the moon in the middle of the day to make a solar eclipse. Yeah. That's going to mess up tides. That's going to mess up a lot of stuff. I mean,
and that's a huge physical feat. Whereas the whole cosmos is, now you're saying, and we'll take one angle at it, you're saying that we actually went back in time.
I mean, that is the other factor to it. I mean, are we?
The whole world saw these stars, like,
right?
They're like seeing people look up, like, what's going on?
And all the physical implications of what, things like the tide and things like the seasons and all of that. That's a big deal. I mean, and if you think about, okay, well, the Earth is now traveling through time 2,000 years. But what's happening outside of the Earth? Well, we got a whole bunch of other things that have happened in the MCU. I mean, like Hela would come back, and Thanos would be doing, I mean, there's so much stuff that would be not affected by this that could have implications. So again, I'm just going to go with, hey, it was a big magical illusion. So
yeah, okay. So I got to go with that too. Like, we can't like bring people back from the dead because we're
right
in the cosmos. But we got to look
concept though. I mean, it was really well done.
I mean, but it got him in trouble. I mean, it can't be. Got him in trouble.
Got him in trouble, and I am getting confirmation from my other screen here that from the comics, this cosmic pyramid is called the Overvoid, and they're trapped there. The Egyptian gods are kind of trapped in this Overvoid. So they're getting Kanju is drawing attention, and the 5 Egyptian gods that were appeared earlier are holding hands, chanting, and doing the imprisonment spell to trap Kanju into this Ushanti or whatever little statue. And
I thought it was really neat as he was crumbling away, as he was being pulled into that and removed from the situation, how Steven, how his mask faded away too. Like the power of the Moon Knight was also being stripped from him as they were doing this. But I thought it was a great effect, the way that they did that whole moving back, because you got to see other astral bodies that weren't just spinning, but like were tracking in weird ways, because everything's all a matter of us spinning around a star, and everything else is out there, and the angle you can see
look at that all working around. So there he is. This is trapping Amit. Is also so Amit is also, the crocodile head one, also trapped in one of these statues. And I don't know that they showed in this one, where they put it in the wall. I think that's the beginning of the next episode. But just to touch on it briefly, Harrow is there and gets to talk to the statue, and he says, something like, "Your torment forged me, and I owe my victory to you."
Yeah, little
and that was a little weird because I'm like, talk, right? He's back inside the temple, wherever the big meeting hall, the great hall.
Yeah,
he's back in there. I mean, they already did their trial. All of a sudden, he's just back there. Like, but again, he was an avatar, so maybe he knows how to get back.
But
maybe
he was.
Maybe
right?
maybe he can summon his own, because he's got the staff. He can probably summon a portal and just go back. Yeah. But
he can use the staff to call those demon dogs.
Mm-hmm. Mm. That's crazy. Like, it really shouldn't be there, because I mean, if you're not a current avatar, you're a former avatar, so you think that, like, you'd be pretty stripped. Like, when I don't know, when Dr. Strange did the Scooby-Doo thing to Peter Parker and everybody forgot.
Yeah.
So it's like, you no longer have that power no more. You should be able, you should just forget what happened, right? Mm-hmm. And everything goes back. But he's like stepping in. I mean, he's I don't know. That's pretty dangerous. X's are dangerous. Anything that has an X on it is pretty dangerous. Okay? Watch out for the X's.
Zizu has a great question in the chat. Or not question, comment. And yeah, I didn't pick up on that. But now that you mentioned that, yeah, he tells Steven to tell Mark.
Yeah. Like, which means maybe Mark has some residual power.
Well, maybe Mark just has the knowledge, because he's the mercenary. I don't know.
Yeah.
But Steven's also the archaeologist mind. He knows all the ways of these things.
So all the puzzle.
It'll be interesting. We only got 2 episodes left.
All right, 2 episodes left, and we're covering 2 this time, and we're on track. We got 30 minutes in, and we covered one whole episode.
Halftime. Giving away, Jesse. What you giving away?
We are giving away. No, we're not giving away. No.
What's the matter with you?
No. Did you get that from Mike? Was that what you got from Mike?
So this will be a big part of the end of the next episode. You see the insane asylum, the loony bin.
The loony bin.
And it's
loony bin.
Pulling a lot from this comic.
I hate it. And that's the only thing I hated about that 4th episode, is that they, that part. So we'll talk about it. I just kind of threw me for a loop there, just a little bit. Like,
that's that left turn. Larry's gonna get there. We'll get there, Mel. Not so ironically, episode 4 starts with the camera upside down.
Again,
the twisting, and we have some really good direction again, I think, for episode 4.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Kanju statue being placed on this imprisonment altar.
Mm-hmm.
And other deities, at least 10, are imprisoned. So what Egyptian god is making the power move here, putting these guys away?
Yeah. I'm telling you, somebody's in cahoots. Somebody trying to cover up something.
Yeah,
because there's a lot more imprisoned Egyptian gods than there are remaining gods in their avatars.
Yeah.
Yep. And do you want to do halftime God Butcher? Well,
dude.
I don't know if we have time for that.
I don't know if you guys, because we got July, we've got Thor, Love and Thunder's coming out. You need to read God Butcher and God Bomb. It's a 2-part story with Gorr, Gorr. Gorr is the villain in this movie, who's being played by Christian Bale.
Okay.
So that's going to be kind of cool. But there are a couple of the best comics I have ever read. Who sent that out? Who sent out that motion comic?
I'm going to see if I can put it in the chat.
Dude, if you can. And so I read them, or watched them being read in the wrong order, because the one that came in the chat was God Bomb, but
and that's the
part
only
2.
one I watched.
Oh, okay. So God Butcher puts all the pieces together that you get to start with in God Bomb. But oh my gosh, it is such a great story. And watching those, I don't know if I've ever read a motion comic, but essentially you get a bunch of voice actors as they pan over the comic panels.
Oh, and, you know, they got like little book groups and stuff like that do that. You know, I was at a lug meeting and I overheard some folks like actually, like you said, doing the voiceover, like reading one of these, and it's a little bit different. It's like it's like a little bit cultish, like a little bit like cult, like a little bit. It kind of scared me a little bit because I'm like, man, if I'm reading a comic or something like that, I'm by myself. I ain't reading with a group.
Yeah, well, it's always very interesting when they're putting voices to characters.
Yeah, they have voice actors, and this one's really alien voices and stuff. And but they explain this dark sword or
the
necro sword,
necroblade,
necroblade.
So the necroblade was it ties in actually to Null and the symbiotes.
Okay,
so it's got ties into Venom and that kind of stuff, but. In that panel, that's not Odin. That's King Thor from the future.
Thor. So we're gonna get variant Thors, and
those are Thor's grandchildren.
Grandchildren of a variant Thor in the future.
I'm definitely watching this tonight.
Yeah.
So and they're long. They're like an hour and a half long each.
Full hour and a half, but so it's like reading. Yeah, because they're voice acting the comic. So it's paced out like it's happening. It's very.
Send me the link. Send me the link.
Don't say
there it is.
After the show,
it's from.
Where'd Mel go? We gave him something better to do.
Here's the guys. The link is in the chat, and I'll post it. The Russian comic book geek put this together, and it's great. So there's a little halftime show for you guys.
Yeah. So it would be interesting because the whole idea behind that is that Gore, he's the God Butcher. He goes through the universe killing gods. And there's a shot in the trailer that is a spitting image of one of the panels from the God Butcher comic book. So I mean it is spot on, and it's like, if they're taking that from this comic book, then we're doing this story, and it's a doozy. Okay. I mean, it is a doozy because, like I said, the guy, he's a God Butcher. He's killing all the gods, all of them. He's going to kill all the gods. So that's why we get to see Zeus. Zeus is going to be played by Russell Crowe.
Oh,
so you see Olympus, and you see all the gods. You see him. You also get the reveal of Jane Foster as the mighty Thor, Lady Thor, and she's got Mjolnir all put back together with some super crazy magical super glue. I don't know how you put Mjolnir back together, man, but it's going to be very interesting. Plus, you've got Guardians of the Galaxy in there too.
Okay.
Crazy. It's going to be such a fun ride.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get back on track. That was a good little halftime because I can't talk about gods without thinking about that story now.
Yeah, right.
And so episode 4 is called The Tomb.
Yes.
Wrong movie.
Oh, wrong.
Yes.
Wrong movie.
When they're going through those wind eroded canyons, those real skinny canyons, where they had to get out of the car. That was the same. That's the same canyons that were in the Last Crusade.
Oh,
yeah. So they went to the same setting as in an Indiana Jones movie to do this. That's just to get that extra feel.
Yeah, we overdue for new Indiana. We are way overdue.
Oof.
That's
I don't know, man. Harrison is he's so old now.
I know, man. I know.
And they can't just pass the torch to
no, don't do that. Not to
to what's his name?
No, not no Shia LaBeouf. No, anybody.
Shia LaBeouf, yeah, thank you.
Anybody but him, please.
And going to that scene you just showed, are you
let's
saying that? Oh,
let's get there. We're pretty much there. So to get there, Layla, let me just describe, because I usually do the breakdown scene by scene in case we don't miss anything and have to go back. Layla drags Steven's body down the sand dune. A Jeep fires at them.
That was crazy and random.
Yeah. But isn't that Harold's henchmen? Maybe.
I'm only guessing that's who they are, because otherwise
they're the only ones out there occupying the
random Egyptian terrorists out there with their.
And they're in the area looking for the same place, right? So she hides in the Jeep. She finds these flares and throws it at their ammo box. And it's a classic
Tomb Raider, son. It's Tomb Raider.
Yeah, Tomb Raider, Lara Croft action here.
And she looks a lot like the gal that was in The Mummy.
Right. She do.
There's a lot. I mean, like,
Steven wakes up, doesn't really say anything, and they drive towards this tomb. They have a good discussion about Mark and Layla, and with Steve in the body. And Steve's not giving up the body.
Give up the body.
He's like, nope. Let's leave him in check.
He's so stubborn.
Like Larry says, they walk through this canyon straight out of Raiders and or one of the other episodes. They see this goat. I don't know. It's just Egyptian symbolism. They check the tent for supplies, and they miss this cue where I showed this little clue of the blood and this tool of a mummy that is, and this is pretty vivid for Disney Plus. Dissecting people and probably
undead, baby, the undead.
Oh yeah,
bringing the undead.
And he just makes that clicking sound, and because he has no tongue. Because when you're mummified, they remove your tongue and your organs, and so this undead whatever guy, he don't talk because he doesn't have a tongue, and so he doesn't have crazy clicking sounds.
Yeah.
Extra creepy.
I don't think he can see. He's putting organs, I think, either back together for himself or another deity.
That whole thing was a little bit.
Could also be a form of sonar, and he's using like the clicking noise to use some sonar location because he doesn't see Layla like clearly hiding right by that body.
Yeah, because he ain't got no eyes, so he can't see it.
Until it hears that sound.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what to call the creature other than a mummy.
But she said that they when they first walk in, you saw the mummies that were standing up, like you see where the dissection table was, but then it was the mummies that were standing up, and she said that they were guardians. They basically was the security for the pharaoh. Yeah, for the pharaoh. So I think that was probably one of them.
So. And I don't think they explained that well enough for me, or I'm just an idiot. But I was just like, how come this thing's showing up all of a sudden? I mean, it just seemed like they're on pace to go find the thing, and all of a sudden we got these demon mummy things coming after her. And what was the point of that? And why are they dissecting these other? And I think
they're killing Harrow's man.
Yes.
For the organ.
It was the one guy. It was the one.
It was
guy.
It was
Gerald or
wasn't that the guy that was? I hate to jump, but wasn't that the guy that was on the table getting gutted? Wasn't he in the dream with back at the crazy house? Wasn't he one of the orderlies? That was him, right?
And the orderlies,
everybody's there.
The orderlies were the same cops, the fake cops that went to go arrest
Fitzgerald and Kennedy, the two.
The cop guy.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So we'll get to there. We'll get to the crazy man. There's a kiss. Steven kisses Layla.
Yeah.
It's very awkward.
It wasn't as awkward as the what she says right after.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to repeat it because
and there's some weird I mean, this is like, again, are we on Disney Plus? What's
I
going
know,
on?
because she says she's told him where she's going to be going, and he has a different idea. And I'm like, what?
Right.
Yeah.
He's like, okay.
Right.
So
I like the part where he punched himself, right? Like he
right.
punches himself.
That was very Fight Club, wasn't it?
You get half of a shh. Oh shh, and then he
it's very
you gotta stay awake, man. You gotta stay awake. Don't look at mirrors and stay awake, man. Freddy gonna get you.
Oh, I wish I haven't watched this other breakdown yet. That's probably good. Punches him in the face and it falls down the tomb. Like he joked about pushing him off the cliff.
He told me, he said, I'm gonna push you off the cliff.
Yeah.
He said it, and he sure enough did.
Anyway, more Steven down there in the tomb. He's gushing over the statues and the hieroglyphics, and he's right in place with his knowledge.
Right.
So he solves the puzzle. They're in a maze, amazing maze of mazes.
Yeah.
And he figures out that the 6 paths are a symbolism for the Eye of Horus and the 5 senses, and the tongue being the voice of these avatars, being a clue twice to finding these their treasure. That's where they find the fresh blood and this mummy. I want to say evil sorceress, mummy is it's crazy. Layla, they get separated. Layla runs towards this bottomless pit, and
every good movie's got to have a bottomless pit, man.
Yeah.
It's straight out of Raiders again. I have to walk across this thing and use faith and don't look down. And she finds a ledge that's pretty sketchy.
They're always sketchy.
And everyone else found a different way.
Right.
But she takes the sketchy ledge, she gets across, and
after sticking a flare in the mummy's eye socket,
and then has to fight this mummy off. We get a good jump scare where the mummy just grabs her.
Right, he gets her anyway. Like, no matter where you go, I'm gonna get you.
Yep.
He circles through the wall and grabs her, so he ended up getting her, and that's crazy. She rips his hand off, right?
She pulls that dummy mummy's hand off, and then she's got to fight off the bone, like the jagged bone of the mummy coming in. Man, it was a good fight scene. Props to her, and just barely escaping falling down the pit with it.
Right.
As Hera watches from the other side.
He's like, you handle that very well.
Yeah.
Let's see what Zizu is saying here, since he's killing anyone that comes around, maybe for years. Yeah, because we do not know, because Hera did not. Maybe it's been protecting this tomb, and we're gonna get to the tomb. It's exactly next in the lore here. So let's get to it.
Yeah.
Stephen finds, so Layla goes one way, Stephen goes the other. He finds the Pharaoh's tomb, which has some Macedonian language, indicating to his knowledge that it is Alexander the Great.
Now, here's my take on that. Like, of all the pharaohs they could have went with, they picked the one that wasn't truly Egyptian, the one that conquered Egypt, came in and made himself an Egyptian.
Right.
Of all pharaohs.
Holy cow, look who's in the chat.
Oh no, he's here to storm the night. What's up, Butt Chop?
What is up, Butt Chop? So there was a question raised on something I was watching. Was perhaps Alexander the Great an avatar for one of these gods at one point?
Yeah, that's what they were saying.
Did that, allow him to give him power to conquer what he conquered.
He's carrying Ahmed.
Ahmed. That's
And did Ahmed give him the power, to conquer such greatly?
Yeah.
So that's a whole nother historical, man, I don't have the chops to really go through that. But
speaking of chops, he again with the desecration of these, in this case, a dude, he's got to rip his jaw off and stick his arm
down there to the belly to go grab the. Wow.
Yeah, very Disney Plus here.
Yes.
Goes right down his gullet to
nice.
The voice of Ahmed would be in his throat. So he finds it though. Again, he solves the puzzle. I don't know if they're gonna video this or just a little shot. There it is. The crocodile head.
Here's the question: what did she do to get in prison? That's what I want to know.
Well,
she's the one that judges everybody before they've made their choices.
And if this is stuck down Alexander the Great's throat, it had to been way back then. So it might have been, like they figured out, and took Ahmed out of power, and now we're having him or her come back through Arthur Harrow. So we'll get there maybe. So we take this left turn here. So let's. Yeah. So we get the statue. Steven's showing it to Layla. She's mad because she learned something from Arthur Harrow about her dad, and Mark being there when her dad was killed, and she confronts him about it, and he says, yeah, he was there, but it was his partner. His partner just got greedy. I'm buying it, but it's just a divisive way to meet and like his future wife, and it's not going good for Mark and Layla, which is so weird that it's going better for Steven and Layla.
right.
The way she still get a guy, right?
Huh?
I say either way, she still get a guy, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Same body, same smell. And I find it very, very clever that when Harrow pops in and confronts Mark and tells him, hey, it's not so great when Kanju's away. You don't have power, but you're free. So what's your decision going to be? And he decides to fight him off with this golden axe. He brought a golden axe to a gunfight.
Yeah,
that's a video game, isn't it? That's a video game. It's like a Sega.
Yeah,
game.
Golden Axe is a great video game. That's great
video
game. Yeah.
Look at Cece's comment. Uncle Jesse and the gang. I love it. We got 2 bullets.
Okay.
2 bullets in the chest.
2 bullets in the chest.
Falls into 6 inches of water.
Hey, he took the first one like a champ.
Yeah.
We have 2 big personalities. Yeah, I think 2 bullets because Mark and Steven.
Yeah, that's right. That's true. You gotta get you 2 times because the first one kind of caught Harrow off guard, right? He was just looking like, man, this guy ain't. Let me shoot you again.
He's going down.
You can see his face like, shoot you again. He goes into the water.
He falls into some water, and he drifts off into this water that kind of turns into space, and and a light at the end of the tunnel, and it brings us to this cheesy 80s movie.
I know.
That thing was so hazy. That film was so hazy. It was like super hazy.
Oh
yeah. yeah, 80s VHS tape.
Right.
You know, we find out that they're watching this tape, or Steven is back to back to back to back. The main character's name is Dr. Stephen Grant. He's got an accent.
Right.
Yeah, so what do you guys think about this loony bin? The white room.
Ooh,
it's a little too clean.
It threw me off, man. It really did. I had to watch it like 3 times to actually catch the concept. You know, I'm a little bit slow. When you get older, you get a little slow. But the first time it threw me off. I'm like, why are we even here? Like, I mean, and then I'm thinking like, because the first time I seen it, I'm thinking like, oh well, this dude really is crazy, and none of this really happened.
And that's what I'm wondering. I mean, is what are we seeing? Are we seeing reality? Well, until
you get to the end. Yeah,
you get to the end, but
it's too phony for me. So like, and I think the comics are a little bit maybe more of a spoiler for some of us, but all the characters that we've seen so far, the guards are there. The forgery lady is there. She was drawing the sketch of Kanju really well, like a good forging.
It was Kanju's head on a hummingbird.
Right.
Yeah. That because you saw a hummingbird in the playing on the movie in Harrow's little commune.
So
it's like everything. I mean, I went back and watched that whole just the room, just because like everything in that area, every person we've seen before or as an Easter egg to something else. That was nuts, man.
Name some. It was nuts. Name some off. I couldn't even keep track of them. You know, we had the Rubik's Cube.
Yeah, Rubik's Cube. Yeah.
We had
and the guy doing bingo, that was the golden statue street performer guy.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
But he calls out some random like T81. There's no T in bingo. I mean,
no
like T in bingo.
And I'm like, oh, what does that mean? It's probably got
numbers.
Be an Easter wig to something else.
I think that just speaks to the insanity of his mind, but also the insanity of this place.
Yeah, because is it the place that created these characters and things, or is he bringing these things into this dream state, and they're all manifesting into all these other people and other things? Because everybody is there. His boss from the museum is there.
Right.
You're crazy.
He called out THX11.
You wish, shop.
Here's the thing though. Like even like when they strike bingo, right?
Yeah.
And Layla's like, oh, bingo, we won. I promise I'll share it with you this time.
Mm-hmm.
So there was some double cross somewhere. There was a double cross somewhere between them two. Like especially if she says, look, I promise I'll share it with you this time, and she runs off. She ain't coming back.
No.
Right.
So yeah, Layla's there. She's got this scarab on a pinky. Her thing is kind of like the scarab things. It was on a scar.
She's the little scarab. That's what her dad called her. That's what her dad called her, the little scarab.
There were things on that picture board that she was.
That's what I want broken down. I haven't seen anything breaking that down because there was like.
Oh, you got a picture of it?
There were 7 eyeballs that were drawn, and
I don't know.
We only got a glimpse of that briefly.
Let's see if I can find it. Here's that. I got the comic right here.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So they're referencing that comic for sure. There's some sketches probably straight out of that comic where he's here. Here's the, I think it's Crowley or something.
Crowley, yeah.
Here's that board.
Yeah. Oh, perfect. Okay, so yeah.
The 7 eyes. What is the significance of the 7 eyes?
Or the 7, like down below, they're like look like alien heads or something. I don't know, man. But you got the postcards. She's putting postcards up like he had next to his fish tank.
Mm-hmm.
and that we had the Eye of Horus. So
Eye of Horus. Okay.
I think this is just kind of a different kind of eye, like these Egyptian gods are watching.
Mm-hmm.
This one's very colorful, almost peacock featherish. I don't know. Oh, let's go moving on. There's that guy. I think there's a few more Easter eggs it'll call out. Oh yeah.
What's the boss? Yeah, that's the
Linda, Janice,
Doris,
whatever her name is.
Right.
And she's got a scarab.
Yep.
Right.
And she's
and
got
that clock is
weird.
weird.
The cupcakes were there.
Oh, there's
the cupcake. And he was the
what's on this daily schedule?
Oh, it's a schedule.
What they got?
4 p.m. bingo.
Breakfast.
Quiet time.
Physical therapy. Quiet time. Reading.
Mm-hmm.
What is that? Zen? What?
Zen visit?
No, they had bingo.
Is that orderly with the cart? Was he the guard?
Yeah, he was. He was back at where the Magi was.
And then that person there sitting must be somebody.
He must be somebody. Here's the guards. They're the orderlies. Man,
good drugs.
So
yeah.
And then we have Harrow's office. So he's
my man. Ethan Hawke is an awesome therapist, man. Let me say that.
Right. Although I think there were too many sharp objects on his table to be in a real mental.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Oh man, he played an awesome therapist, man. Don't hurt him. Don't hurt him. No, don't hurt him. See, and now take us to that room, Jesse, because here's my thoughts on is that at any given time, if Harold was in control of the situation, they could have probably just squashed him like a bug, but they didn't, right? They really didn't. Wherever they at, I don't think Harold has full control of the situation. Like, you know what I mean? Because like to me, it's just like they were playing patty cake with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. This just looks too unreal. You know, it's too otherworldly. All this white mixed architecture, like Larry says, sharp objects and glass tables, and the pen straight out of the comic. The female doctor, I think, is clicking the pen. So I like how they made that analogy of what is your perception of what this pen is. To me, it's a writing utensil, but to my dog, it's a chew toy.
Right.
And both answers are correct. And that is amazing discussion about perspective and truth, like honestly. It's very enlightening to think of these from other people's shoes, you know. And I think he's trying to just get inside his mind, you know, who are you truly? And maybe it's the Jake character that we haven't seen yet that is the true character. I'm not sure.
Well, yeah, just when I think we're getting to the point where like, hey, we're going to start seeing some answers. Again, we take this left turn. And so what happens? How are we going to get back to are we getting back to reality, or is this reality? This can't be reality.
Yeah.
It's too white in this. It's too clean. It's not. And then you know, the fact that we see him meet up with himself.
Yeah, they got Steven.
Now Mark and Steven are going to give each other a big hug.
Now there you go, right there.
Hey, Jake.
Right there.
That, say hi to Jake.
That is definitely standing up. That's standing up, and that right there is very unusual. Either you did something really bad, or you're guarding something.
Yeah, or the gods talking to him. Yeah, because so he's obviously like this. Like, so there's another.
So awesome! I was just when that happened, I was like, "What?" And then when she speaks, it's like this really tiny, high pitched voice.
Yeah.
But they got the hippo down.
What's the name of the hippo god?
I'm hoping this guy puts it on a termit or something. Termit.
Okay, so that's one that he didn't meet
Tenet?
yet. Okay.
Let's see if this guy spells it out somewhere in here. I don't know.
Maybe not.
There are some calls to the waning of the waxing of the moon too. How each time it's shown, the crescent moon is more when Khonshu seems to have power, and he's losing power now as it goes to a gibbous moon. So, which is like, I guess, yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. Any other angles you guys want to cover? Because I'm thinking we could go anywhere from now. Like he sees this hippo god. Does he snap back to reality? Does he get shucking out? What are we going to see in the next episode?
I speculate that I wish we knew her name. The hippo god. I think she's there to help. She seems like she's there to help. I know Butt Shop's on fire tonight.
He's all about hippo god.
And I think that after he's done screaming, we'll probably get some explanation, and at that point, she may lead them back to that other sarcophagus. And this might be where we finally get to see Jake.
They open the red sarcophagus, and then we have Jake in the body, and we're back on Earth. And
of course, knowing this show, we're not going to open the episode with that.
You're
going to open it up with Harrow putting glass in his shoes again or something.
Strangle Harrow before he breaks open Ammit's statue. There's got to be a power struggle there. Or do we somehow, maybe the hippo has to get them back to that whole wall of Khonshu's statue and release Khonshu.
Maybe
we're in this Moon Knight thing, right?
Because that's the only way that I can foresee that Steven is going to survive those gunshots.
Okay,
he's got to get the Moon Knight armor back to protect him and heal him so he can survive that. So how do we get from A to B?
Yeah,
good question.
Yeah, so I think somehow we got to release Kanji's power again. That's how he was brought back to life. We'll have some. So it's maybe not ironic. This hippo god is the god of fertility and birth and rebirth.
Oh, so she leads them the way out. Yeah, that's okay. She leads them on the way out. Okay.
So, I think we get a rebirth of Mark's character and his powers with Moon Knight.
Cool. One more time. Studs Will Travel makes a good interesting comment. Maybe it won't be the Moon Knight armor that allows him to be reborn, but the hippo god is going to do it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that idea.
Howard the Duck and the hippo man.
Yeah, with the duck.
Oh man. Yeah, where Zizu's checking in again. Thanks for being here, guys. I don't know what's going to happen next, but I'd love to see a finale that really takes a crazy twist. And Larry knows I've been hinting at the Midnight Suns from day one, and the Midnight Suns lore. It's probably too much of a left turn to bring a different deity, Lilith, into the scene, some other evil being instead of Ahmed. But with Harrow being like already in cahoots with these Egyptian gods, and Doctor Strange and the chaos magic and the evilness that's on the brink of MCU breaking. Before any mosquito type types of teasers. I'd like to see some more evil beings come into play, and we'll find out.
I think
the statue.
I'm with you, Jesse. I really want to see some MCU tie-in. I mean, if Doctor Strange shows up in episode 6, I will not be surprised. You know, I mean, if we can get some other link, or I mean, if freaking Ghost Rider shows up, I mean, I think, and it may be, you know, very much a post-credit scene after the end of episode 6, but because we have had the Madripoor is the only link that we have had that tells you that this show is even in the same universe as our other Marvel stories. So,
all right, we hit our usual pace and covered 2 episodes.
Yeah, man.
Well done.
We'll just sit back and wait for some more action here. Buy some tickets to Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
You guys finding any Lego sets out there? I guess the goat boat is showing up on some shelves.
That's what I missed today. Dag,
that is the oh, I can't stand those goats. Those goats are horrible.
That's what the boat.
But I can't wait to see it in the movie.
Yeah.
Tooth Masher and Tooth Grinder are the name of Thor's goats. But
bet you they shoot out fire out of their ass.
I don't know, but they can run through space. That's all I know. But they would have been on Asgard when Surtur destroyed it. So because those are his goats from way long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's part of Thor's mythos. That's how he travels. That's how Thor travels through the sky on his chariot, is pulled by these goats. So,
all right, just trying to bring some Lego into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have. I put my my Doctor Strange thing and my Morbius and my Moon Knight thing as the thumbnail, and I did that a while ago before we skipped an episode.
I put this guy together this week.
Oh yeah, we got the X.
We're going to probably each of us that are going to participate in the draft in our lug grab about 2 or 3 of these to part out. These are a lot of good parts in here, and I'm not talking about just the claws either. A lot of good parts, but you know, you're going to need to get 2 or 3 of them to get a decent amount.
Cool. I built some Jurassic Park Jeeps the other night. That was pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
Put these guys together. Pretty cool build.
Did a size comparison of the T-Rexes.
T-Rexes are
that was hot. Yeah.
Pretty good. Built a Dumbo thing at the museum. That was pretty fun. And the pirate train hit the floor at the museum today, so I had to rebuild the pirate train.
Oh, no.
I was like, not happy. It busted bad. I just took all the pieces up in a box. It was bad. Like,
was it the whole train?
Just the pirate part.
Just the pirate section? Okay.
Yeah. Pirate part hit the floor. Don't know what happened. There were some rambunctious little fingers running around. So
this is why Lego is not for children, folks.
But it is Lego.
Just kidding. Stop the hate. Stop the hate mail.
It is Lego.
Always tough to do trains when kids are around. That's what happened to my Deadpool train. Is took dive off the table.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't remember how to put this back together.
Put it back together. What's next? I know even with Troy not here, we'll pimp his show. Mock Day is Monday. So tomorrow, right about this time, and we'll see what Troy's up to on his channel, Agents of Mock.
Just Mark.
Larry, you're hitting the build table and building stuff for Chicago. We're getting ready for Brick World.
Yes, sir.
Brick World.
We'll
Dude,
see Iceberg there.
I'm so excited.
Yep, I'll be
We'll
there.
see a bunch of folks there. I'll be displaying in my lug area, twin lug. So maybe we'll talk off the air about other collaborations. And my Google just checked in.
Thanks for sharing. You know what always makes me feel better.
Oh.
All right, I'm going to end the broadcast with that before the AI takes over all things in my apartment here.
Oh, Buttshop, you're going to be in Chicago?
Whoa.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, there's trouble.
Yep. All right. Anything? All right. We're just gonna end it. Look for Iceberg Bricks. Maybe doing something new soon.
Maybe. Yep.
We will catch you for almost the finale, but 2 more episodes, and we'll spoil it and see where it leads. Thanks again. Thanks everybody in the chat. Dude, Jude, Zizu, Buttchop. Was the other guy here? Half Studs Will Travel, and other people watching live. Appreciate that very much. Hit that thumbs up and like and subscribe and create and explore and inspire people with your bricks. That's it.
Good night.
Enough
It's a wrap.